with you in just a moment. Just a moment. Oh my. Well, you've come to the right place. Now, I have a very serious question to ask you. Now, please go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Now, you look to be in a bit of a state, but might I ask if the pain is severe enough that it needs to be dealt with right at this moment? Or perhaps do you think maybe I could interest you in a spot of tea? Yes, I had just... Oh, where is that? I had just made up a beautiful aromatic glass that I was looking quite forward to, but I think you may need it more. Had a bit of, gosh, where was it? Oh, right where I left it. There's a bit of late summer apple and chamomile, rosehip, and a little bit of brambleberry leaf. Yes. I like to put quite a bit. The delicate flavors of the herbs and the apple, they tend to be a little muted. So our remedy is a piping hot glass and an extra dose of herbs. I even brought out the fine silver. Now, would you like to take a smell? Yeah. Just take a smell of that. Yes. It's very refreshing, especially with this light autumn rain we have. I myself just came in a little bit ago. Dried most of my hair, but you know how that goes. So I could probably ascertain why you're here. Please, just as we speak, take a drink from your tea, settle down. Tell me a little bit about what has happened. A gardening incident. Interesting. How is it that you've been gardening that you've gotten... Oh gosh, let me have a look at you. So, you have a bloodied nose, and there are some cuts to your temple, and your hands are scraped. Lots of bruises. What on earth were you gardening? Well, certain that while you believe that, I don't know that I quite do. Take a drink of your tea before it gets cold. There's nothing worse than tea gone cold. Save for maybe tea gone a touch manky. No one likes a bitter, dusty, manky tea. Well, I think we can get you cleaned up firstly. Bring out the new linens. And then I have a thing or two, I think. So let me see here. Let's address this nose here. I'm just going to just dab at that. You live just down the way, is that correct? I thought so, yes. Yes, I was quite curious when I saw you just out of the corner of my eye. I was not sure how it was that you ended up all the way down here. But I can see now, I really am the only healer in this part of the Shire, aren't I? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to have you just push the nares together, okay, just like that, and I'm going to have you tip your head back for me, right? Yes, push them together, tip your head back. Good, good. We'll stay there for just a moment. Now, as for these hands, and what is that? Is that a scraped elbow? I do not believe you that you experienced a gardening incident. Hobbits do not experience gardening incidents of this magnitude. The most I see is generally a cut or a scrape, not your entire upper body. Let me see your hands. Right, let's get this cleaned up. How is the nose? We'll leave it for just a little bit longer. Well, on the bright side, it looks as if the scrapes do not have anything embedded in them. It's just a little dusty, so we won't have to wash and clean these out. Now, as for your elbow, I think, let's see. Oh, and your shirt is torn, isn't it? Well, unfortunately, I am not exactly the most gifted seamstress. So, you'll have to forgive me, but I cannot help you with that. Alright, I think that'll do. Now, the other hand. And how is your nose now? Okay, so that hand also looks like it does not need to be manually cleaned out. is good. I would have had to get the salt and some more warm water, and you still haven't drank much of your tea. Going to need this cup to be empty by the time you leave my cottage. Now, let's look at your nose. Okay, come and just come back to neutral. And let me ready clean corner. There. Just a little bit on the outside. Now, just release your nose. Okay, just okay, so for this moment, it looks like we don't have any more coming out, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little bit here, and we're just going to roll it into kind of this little cylindrical shape here. And you know what, let me roll that a little thinner, and then we'll put that into the nose, and that'll catch anything else, alright? So just go ahead and stay still for me, okay? And just there, right? Okay. Right. There. There. Now, let's see. Oh my. Clean linens no longer. Let me see. Let's address this here on the temples. Even on the cheek. Now, I'll make you a deal. I'll make you a little wager. I think that I know how it is that you got into this mess. And if I am correct, I want you to take this cup and I want you to drink as much as you can. And even if I am correct, I will not tell anyone what it is that you are doing, so that the only person that has your secret is me. Right? I won't tell anyone. I won't tell a soul. Does that seem to be a good wager to you? Good. I'm going to grab that cup, as I believe I am quite correct. I think that you did what almost no sane hobbit ever does. I think that you had yourself a little adventure. Would that be correct? Yes, this was no gardening incident. No, I do declare that there was no plausible way that this would have been simply a gardening incident. But instead, you had yourself an adventure. Now, deal's a deal. You are going to take this and I want you to drink as much as you can. It is certainly cooled down, and it will not nearly be as pleasant as it was several minutes ago, but it will still, I think it'll still help you. Now please sit still as best as you can. Let me take care of you. While I am curious about what a young hobbit was doing on an adventure, I can't say that I'm not sympathetic, and your secret is safe with me. There will be nobody in the Shire that knows that you were on an adventure. I would, of course, like to hear the details, but you do not have to. You do not have to tell me if you do not want to. Let's see. What about, how is your head? Is there any lumps or bumps there? Did you take a tumble? Is that what happened? Ah, I see. No, I will not laugh. It is just that it is a touch entertaining that you fell face first. And based on your injuries, I probably could have deduced that myself, but it has been somewhat pleasant to see one of the more mischievous little hobbits squirm a bit. But don't worry. Just dabbing off the sweat, the dirt and the dust. This is what happens when we don't supervise our little ones. I've told them time and time again, but they don't see it. They just see their patched up little ones when they come home from my cottage. But some hobbits will just seek adventure, no matter how erotic it may be. Hobbit life is a simple one. One with satisfying evenings with the rest of their kin and enjoying a good, fulfilling, warm meal and a glass of tea or three. I think that I have just the herbs for your cuts and for your bruises. I think we can get those taken care of. But until then, when is the last time that you ate? It is tea time, and as you are here, although you are having tea, I do believe that you most likely did not have any food. No. Well, we'll fix that right quick. Let me see. There. I was preparing for my own tea time, of course. We have a nice little dish. Now for tea, I had a spot of hazelnut cheese, as well as some almond bread, and a little treat of a red currant tart. Now, does that sound agreeable to you? Wonderful. Just give me a moment. Let's see. Where is that? Yes. Have to. Okay. just nibble on that as you will, and good. Good. You've made good progress on your tea. I do believe you could drink more, but perhaps save that while you are partaking in our little tea time snack. And as for the salves, let's see. I think, yes, give me just a moment. I had picked these not too long ago, foreseeing that someone would need my services yet. Good. I have a little bit of comfrey here. Let's just put that right in there. A little bit of comfrey, and I think a touch of Betony as well. And these will help the healing of your cuts and scrapes. Just gotta mash these up, mix them together. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Wait just a moment. And I think for your bruises, I have a little bit of hyssop. We'll take care of that right quick. Now we have a little mixture. And then we'll need just a little bit of oil to bind it together. Good, good, good. I'm just going to take a little bit of this. Just a bit. Pull it around in my fingers here, just to release the oils, and let's apply that here. Good. Messy business, but it's always best applied by hand. Clean linens, though they're not clean anymore. Good. How does that feel? A little sensitive? A little tender? These greatly cut down on the healing time, so I think in just a few days' time should be just about healed. Let me see. Don't think we will apply this to the nose, and actually, let's take a look at the nose. Okay, so no, just a spot of something. So I think that the nose has cleared up. And let me see your hands and your elbow. Excellent. I'll just rub that in. Good, good, good. Rub that in. Let me make sure to release all the oils, all the medicinal parts. Good. And now the the other hand. Yes, don't worry about the mess. This is a messy sort of practice, and I find that I have to prune the hall about 3 times a day. But I've gotten quite efficient at it, I think. Good. Good. Comfrey, Betony, and now the Hyssop. Just take the Hyssop here. It's a real nice sound to it, does it not? Yes. And beautiful scent. It is a relative of the mint family. That's good. It's a bit tougher to pull apart. Yeah, good. It's a little bit by the wayside, I think. Just need to, I think I can do a little bit more. I want to get this to be as fine as I can, release as many oils as we can. Good, good, good. Yes, I think that'll do. Now, there may or may not be some bruising along the cheek and the temple. So I'm going to put just a little bit there. Will not interact with our Comfrey and Betony. So we'll just put these, the edges here. Good. And the cheek. Good. All over me. I did make a foolish choice when I decided to wear white this morning. Do not know why I even own the color, with how many little hobbits I have to patch up with Comfrey and Betony and Hyssop. At this point I should just own red and brown linens. Brown for all the dirt, red for everything else. Good. Good. How is that? Does it tingle a bit? Does it tingle on the skin? Is there just a little bit of that hint of that minty feeling? Good. And the elbows, please. I know those had some nasty purpling spots. Good. Just working that into the skin, releasing the oils. And let's get the base of your hands, as I assume you landed on your hands. I can't quite tell from your wounds how exactly you landed, just that they're all on the front of your body. to your adventurous tale. If you would be comfortable in the retelling of it. Good. And we will leave that there for just a spot of time before we clean off everything. And how are you doing on that tea? How is your tea? With the apples, the chamomile, the rose, brambleberry leaf. What was that? Yes, it's a wonderful, wonderful tea for these very late summer, early autumn evenings. So as you were saying, I see. So what sort of vegetables were you after when you decided to go adventuring into their vegetable garden? And what exactly were you going to do with these vegetables? What were you going to do when you had them? I see. Well, personally, if I were to go to the trouble of digging up potatoes, then I think that perhaps I would. Well, with potatoes, you can do so many things. You can boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew, all sorts. But eating them raw, I don't know that I would have ever tried that. So, did you end up procuring the potatoes? No. But you did get a bit of cabbage. And whose vegetable garden was this, did you say? Ah, you didn't. Well, what do I do with a mischievous little hobbit that goes tumbling through others' vegetable gardens in search for potatoes to eat raw and has not yet eaten their almond bread, hazelnut cheese, or red currant tart? There you are. Yeah. Now you will actually have to eat that. It does strike me as odd that you are more than willing to consume raw potatoes, but a delicious, flaky little pastry with juicy, syrupy fruit and delectable, savory cheeses and breads, that did not seem to strike you as appetizing as raw potatoes. Is that correct? So it was the illicit nature of the potatoes then. Yes, the bite of a stolen raw potato is just as sweet as a freely given red currant tart. I do not know that I agree. But in the meantime, as you eat and drink, I am going to clean off the remnants of the salve, and then we will get you on your merry way. I will keep my promise, and I will not tell any of your kin of your misadventures of the day. But I would urge you to not go tromping into others' gardens to look for potatoes, and then only come home with cabbage. Did you get a good one at least? Cabbage worms. They're a plate this year. Now, let me see. Let us do hands first while you are eating. echoes look much less angry than before. Hobbits do not do well with pain. We are a rugged sort, so it takes much to injure us, but pain does not become us, I feel. But you have healed quite nicely. I think you will be just fine. Now the hands. So you have deigned to eat some of my pastry. And how was it? Yes, now I find that you will probably lick the plate clean. And the elbow here. Good. Oh dear. I will need to broom again, I feel. That is disappointing. Bit sticky here. Bit sticky. Sticky. Let's see. Sticky. Our bits. Let me just. I'll just have to use my fingers. Just. I must not have cut up the pieces enough. There's just these little bits of leaves. I think I got it. Laid it on a little thick. That's what we needed. Now you are going to have to tell the rest of your household why it is you are tinged green and purple. You're more than welcome to tell them that I took care of you. You don't have to tell them what it is you had done. Personally, I wouldn't want to tell my kin about an unsuccessful raw potato stealing operation. But you're gonna have to think of something to tell them. Good. I think I'm quite pleased with that. Cleaned your plate, you did. Excellent. Very good. And as for the tea, give me just a moment. Good. Just the dregs. Very good. And how did you find that blend? Yes, I am looking for just a little bit of something else. I couldn't. Let me see. My little notes here. I recall. I wanted to add a bit of hawthorn to it as well. And I just didn't have access to that. I'll have to look into that. I think that might be the key to just taking that tea up a little bit more. Now, is there anything else I can do for you? No, I've kept you here quite long enough, haven't I? Yes, much further than I imagine you thought you would be here. Very good. I will not keep you any longer. Just do know that should you decide to go on another misguided adventure, that I will be here, and unless you wish to talk about it, I will not ask too many questions, just more about the nature of your injuries, and I do always keep my herbs stocked, so I will be able to take care of any ailment. Does that sound fine to you? Very good. Now, run along, stay away from the vegetable gardens, and I hope to not see you too soon, but I will admit it was kind of interesting to hear your swashbuckling tale. Right. Go on now. Go on. Goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like this video if you want to, comment if you'd like to, and subscribe